Hey there, heroes. Join us for part 2 of What If Deku Explored New Bonds. This time, it's all about Deku and Momo. Let's dive in. Izuku, Momo, you have to try to evacuate the civilians. We can't wait for help to arrive. There's still time to do something. Momo, alright. She rushes towards the building engulfed in flame. Spinner, where are you going, pressure? Just as he was about to reach her with his blade, Izuku struck him with a Manchester smash, causing him to recoil. With the same blast of air he generated, he managed to create a gap in the flames for Momo to help the civilians escape. Due to the impact, Spinner's blade had snapped in half, leaving him defenseless against Izuku's attacks. While Momo helped evacuate the civilians, the professional heroes had already arrived at the crime scene. Since Izuku and Momo had their licenses, they could take charge of the situation, and their smart reactions warranted recognition. Spinner was holding on as best he could, but it was impossible for him to continue. He only had a small dagger, and Izuku was at 20%. Momo had finished evacuating the civilians thanks to the arrival of the professionals. There were no losses to mourn. Momo joined Izuku to deal with Spinner. In a desperate attempt, Spinner threw his dagger at Momo. She tried to shield herself, but she had used all her energy in rescuing the injured. In a desperate move, Izuku ran to Momo and embraced her, taking the full impact of the dagger in his back, causing a wound. Before collapsing, he stood up and, with his last remaining strength, used his Manchester smash, hitting Spinner squarely in the stomach, rendering him unconscious. Alone, Izuku passed out from blood loss, and a very scared Momo ran towards him to see what happened. It was evident from her face that the boy was not well, as Momo cried inconsolably. Current chapter. Izuku was rushed to the hospital as he was badly injured. Momo accompanied him in the ambulance. She informed the others so they could notify the teachers. Unfortunately, Izuku's mother was out of town for 2 weeks visiting relatives. By All Might's order, she wouldn't be informed unless it was a matter of life or death since he was in charge of Midoriya. Upon arriving at the hospital, Aizawa, All Might, and Nezu were already there. The doctor was very clear with them: if the boy didn't go into surgery in the next few minutes, he would die. The three agreed to proceed with the operation. Meanwhile, Momo didn't want to leave Izuku's side, blaming herself repeatedly. All Might, Yaoyorozu-san, calm down. Everything will be fine. Momo, but it's my fault for being so weak. Aizawa, you must not say that. We've received reports, if it weren't for you two, at least 300 people would have died. Momo, but he's like this because of me. All Might, I know why he did it. You're very important to him. He would never forgive himself if something happened to you, so don't cry. We just have to wait for Midoriya to wake up. Aizawa, for now, let's return to the academy so you can rest. Momo, no. I don't want to leave until I know he's okay. Aizawa, I understand, but you should at least take a bath and change. All Might, Aizawa-kun is right. The doctors said the operation would take at least 10 hours. Until then, we can't do anything. After convincing Momo, Aizawa took her away so she could rest. All Might stayed with Director Nezu to go through the paperwork since they were responsible for Midoriya's condition. Aizawa took Momo to the building and told her he would wait until she was ready to return to the hospital. This was the only way they convinced her to go back and rest for a while. When they arrived, all the kids were in the living room, waiting for news about the two of them. They were very worried, especially after what Momo had told them and what they had seen on the news. All the girls ran to hug her. Momo, how are you? How's Midoriya? Momo, crying. Ida, is Midoriya-kun really that serious, Aizawa-sensei? Aizawa, for now, girls, accompany your friend to her room so she can take a bath and change. All the girls nodded and went with Momo. Kirishima, Aizawa-sensei, how's Izuku? Aizawa, right now, he's in the operating room. That's all we know. We'll have to wait until tomorrow to see how he is. Kaminari, and what they say in the news, is it true? Aizawa, yes, thanks to that pair acting quickly, there were no losses to mourn. Ida, but what about Midoriya? Aizawa, you, who know him better than I do, know he did it because that's what a hero would do. The kids stayed discussing what had happened with Aizawa, although he had fallen asleep in his yellow sleeping bag, waiting for Momo to come down so they could go to the hospital. Aizawa, kids, I need 2 of you to come to the hospital with me. Ida, why, sensei? Aizawa, Miss Yaoyorozu will take care of him, and 2 of you will help her. Besides, one of her classmates will come with us. It'll only be for a couple of days. Kirishima, I'll go. I can't stay here knowing my friend is like that. Ida, I'll go too. I won't be calm until I see him. Aizawa, very well, one of you go and tell the girls to prepare one of them to accompany their classmate Yaoyorozu. After a few hours, Yaoyorozu, Jiro, Kirishima, and Ida accompanied Aizawa to be at the hospital with Midoriya. Upon arrival, they saw All Might and Director Nezu. Momo, Sensei, how's Izuku doing? All Might, the doctor informed us that he's out of danger. Nezu, tomorrow afternoon, he'll be transferred to UA's infirmary so Recovery Girl can take care of him. Ida, are you sure he's okay to be moved in that condition? Nezu, maybe not, but we can't risk villains trying to avenge their companion. All Might, that's why you came here. Tonight, along with us, you'll guard him to prevent any trouble. Kirishima, all right, it's the least we could do for him, right Ida? Jiro, he's right. He's always helped us all, now it's our turn to do it. All Might, well said, kids. You'll be great heroes. Time skip, Monday, 8:30 a.m. Finally, Izuku's surgery had ended, though it lasted longer than planned, the doctors managed to save his life. It was his resilience that helped him survive. Doctor, the surgery was successful, but there's one detail. Momo, nervously, what's wrong? Doctor, we don't know when he'll wake up. He's not in a coma, just exhausted. His body used all its energy to keep him alive, as if something or someone inside him kept him fighting. All Might, well, if he's exhausted, it won't hurt for him to sleep for a couple of days. It's the best thing he can do. Nezu, doctor, when can we take him home? Doctor, I'll discharge him tomorrow at 8 o'clock. For now, we'll move him to a private room for observation. Aizawa, kids, did you hear that? Let's go to his room. Remember, nobody without hospital identification can enter the room. Only you and us can go in. Everyone, understood. We can see Izuku lying in the hospital bed. After being taken by ambulances, he had to undergo emergency surgery because the dagger had made a small puncture in his lung. According to the doctors, the boy should have died minutes after receiving the wound, but due to his inhuman resilience, he miraculously remained stable. The only problem was that they didn't know if he would wake up after the operation due to blood loss. At the request of All Might and Director Nezu, Izuku was transferred to Recovery Girl's infirmary for treatment and to be under the teacher's custody. Every day without fail, he was visited by his classmates. The only one who didn't leave his side was Momo. She was with him at all times, only leaving for a bath or when she had to attend class. Time skip, Recovery Girl's infirmary, 10 p.m. A week had passed, and Izuku still hadn't woken up. It was around 10 p.m. on Friday when Izuku began to wake up. He tried to move but felt pressure holding him back. When he opened his eyes, all he could see was a black-haired head lying on his chest. He started to caress her and gently hugged her to wake her up. Izuku, Momo-chan, wake up. Momo, asleep. Izuku, Momo, wake up. Izuku, I wonder if Mina is awake. Momo, suddenly wakes up, I'm awake. Izuku, smiles at her, embracing her tightly and starting to cry, I thought I was going to lose you. Momo, tears streaming down her face, burying her head in his chest. Izuku, what happened? Why am I like this? Momo, crying, don't you remember what happened? Izuku, the last thing I remember is fainting. Izuku tried to get up, but a sharp pain in his back stopped him. He let out a muffled scream, indicating discomfort. Izuku, worried, I remember now. Are you okay? Did anything happen to you? Momo, kisses him on the lips, you saved me, silly. That's why you're like this. Izuku, starts crying, for a moment, I was about to die. Momo, surprised, why do you say that? Izuku, when I was in the operating room, I could see myself from an elevated angle, as if my soul had detached from my body. Momo, are you sure about that? Izuku, I don't know. Maybe it was a dream, but there was a big black shadow in the room, watching. I also remember seeing other shadows watching me, but these were different colors, each one like different people. Momo, I remember you telling me something similar happened to you in your fight against Shinso. Izuku, they were the same shadows. He said, surprised, thinking, I'll have to talk to All Might about this. Momo, I have to get Recovery Girl, she told me to inform her as soon as you woke up. Izuku, sweats, please don't. I'm sure she'll scold me. Momo, but she has to check if you're okay. Izuku, stay with me tonight. Tomorrow morning, let them scold me as much as they want. Momo, but what if? Izuku, He embraces her. I'm fine as long as you're with me. If they ask, tell them I woke up early in the morning. Momo, okay. Izuku, by the way, Momo, what day is it today? Momo, it's Friday. You've been asleep for almost a week. Izuku, wow, my body is so tired. I thought I had only slept for a couple of hours. Momo, see, that's why I need to go get. Izuku, he interrupts her with a kiss, no need. I just need a hug to sleep and recover. Despite her strong refusal, Momo slipped under the sheets with Izuku. He held her protectively while she rested on his chest. He stroked her hair while their hands were intertwined. Izuku kissed her forehead and told her she looked beautiful. Momo, blushing, you still treat me like this, and we're not even dating. Izuku, nervously laughing, well, my plans changed a bit that night. Momo, blushing, what do you mean? Izuku, I didn't plan to fight a villain or end up in the hospital sleeping for a week. Momo, did you? Izuku, it was my intention but. Momo, she passionately kisses him, yes, I do, yes, I do, yes, I do. Izuku, he hugs her around the waist, I haven't even asked you yet. Momo, I don't care. After that peculiar declaration, our heroes fell asleep. It wasn't unusual for Momo to stay and take care of Izuku, she had been doing it all week. That's why her classmates weren't surprised when she didn't return to the dorms. They tried to convince her to take turns in caring for him, but she refused, and the others had no choice but to accept. All Might, who had gone to check on them, overheard everything behind the door. For a moment, he thought about entering to ensure everything was all right. However, upon hearing about the shadows and recalling their discussion during the sports festival, he decided to let them rest. Although now he was happy for his pupil, it seemed he already had a girlfriend. All Might, tears in his eyes, Midoriya, you fill me with pride. Despite her firm refusal, Momo slipped under the sheets with Izuku. He held her protectively as she nestled against his chest, his fingers caressing her hair while their hands intertwined. Izuku kissed her forehead and remarked on her beauty. Momo, you treat me like this, and we're not even dating. Izuku, nervously chuckling, well, my plans changed a bit that night. Momo, blushing, what do you mean? Izuku, I didn't plan to fight a villain or end up in the hospital for a week. Momo, did you? Izuku, it was my intention but. Momo, passionately kissing him, I do, I do, I do. Izuku, embracing her waist, I haven't even asked you yet. Momo, I don't care. After that odd declaration, our heroes fell asleep. It wasn't unusual for Momo to stay to take care of Izuku, she had been doing it all week. That's why their classmates weren't surprised when they didn't return to their dorms. They tried to convince Momo to take turns looking after him, but she refused, and the others had no choice but to accept. All Might, who had come to check on them, overheard everything behind the door. For a moment, he thought about entering to ensure everything was all right. However, upon hearing about the shadows and how they had discussed it during the sports festival, he decided to let them rest. Though now, he was happy for his pupil, it seemed he had a girlfriend. All Might, tears in his eyes, Midoriya, you fill me with pride. Current chapter. UA Infirmary, 8:30 a.m. Our two heroes were still asleep, one beside the other. Momo used Izuku as a pillow while he held her shoulder. The sun's rays began to hit Izuku's face, gradually waking him up. Meanwhile, Momo felt as comfortable as possible, now sleeping on her boyfriend. The thought crossed her mind, her boyfriend. She thought about everything that could have happened during the week he had been asleep. She felt guilty for what had happened. In her mind, it was her fault. If she wasn't so weak, they wouldn't have to protect her. If she wasn't so weak, Izuku wouldn't have been on the brink of death to save her. Momo began to cry on Izuku's chest. She had been awake for a few minutes, but she kept thinking about what had happened. The more she dwelled on it, the worse she felt. The only thought running through her mind, it's my fault. As Izuku woke up, he felt something wet on his chest. He realized it was Momo, who was lying on his chest, sobbing. For a moment, he thought it might be drool from her while she had been sleeping, but he dismissed that idea when he heard her crying. Izuku, Momo-chan, what's wrong? Momo, crying Izuku, Momo-chan, what's happening? Why are you crying? Momo, Izuku, it's all my fault. Izuku, what are you saying? Why is it your fault? Momo, you're like this because of me. If I weren't so weak, you wouldn't have been on the verge of dying. Izuku, lifting her chin to meet his eyes, that doesn't matter. What's important to me is that you're okay. And if I have to give my life to save you again, I wouldn't hesitate. Their classmates, who had come to visit as usual so that Yaoyorozu could bathe and eat something, heard everything. They were used to visiting Izuku when he was asleep. Although all the classmates visited him, a few classmates from Class B also came to see him, and Hatsume also stopped by to see how her test subject and best friend were doing. Ida, should we go in? Kirishima, let's give them a few minutes to sort things out. Jiru, listening with her quirk, I think it's okay to go in. Uraka, are you sure? Jiru, yes, from what I understood, Izuku woke up last night, and it seems they're not just friends anymore. Ida, I don't think Midoriya-kun is that bad of a person to stop being friends with Yaoyorozu-san because of what happened. Kirishima, yeah, that's not manly. Author, Elfman, you go back to Magnolia, sorry about that, guys. Everyone, that was weird. Jiru, I don't mean that, guys. I think it's better if we go in. Fortunately or unfortunately, Izuku and Momo were found by their classmates kissing, although they hadn't noticed yet as they were lost in each other's gaze, unaware of what was happening around them. Momo, I love you, Izuku. Please don't do that again. Izuku, I told you, if it's for you. Blushing, hi, guys. Everyone, Midoriya. Momo, still cuddled up to Izuku in bed, guys, don't shout, we're in the infirmary. Ida, sorry about that, but why are you lying down with Midoriya-kun? Momo, blushing and starting to stammer like Izuku. Jiru, laughing, wow, you've spent so much time together that you already have the same habits. Uraka, Deku-kun, how are you feeling? Izuku, tired, feels like I haven't slept for a week. Kirishima, man, you worried us all, even Bakugo came to see how you were. Izuku, nice joke. Momo, it's not a joke, Izuku. He came to see you too. Everyone came to see you. Hatsume-san came too, even Kendo, Ibara, Kodai, and Tetsu. Izuku, and how did they find out? Uraka, it was all over the news. They even broadcasted live when it happened. Jiru, we saw you jump to protect Yaoyorozu. Izuku, sorry for worrying you guys. Ida, no need for that. We're all proud to be your friends. We're sure you'll be a great hero, but next time, try not to risk your life. Izuku, agreed. The kids had been chatting for about an hour. It seemed they had forgotten to call Recovery Girl, which was supposed to be the first thing they did when Izuku woke up. The boys hadn't noticed, but Yaoyorozu had been holding Midoriya's hand the whole time, their fingers intertwined. Momo, darn it, I forgot to let Recovery Girl know to come and check on you. Jiru, by the way, Midoriya, when did you wake up? Izuku, at night, around 10. Everyone, what? Ida, and why didn't you get Recovery Girl? Izuku, because I wanted to be with Momo-chan, and also, I'm sure Recovery Girl will scold me. Momo, blushing, kisses him on the lips. Jiru, wait, now that I remember, before entering the room, we heard something. Izuku, what did you hear? Ida, that Yaoyorozu was crying because you didn't want to be her friend anymore. Kirishima, yeah, that's not cool, bro. Jiru, and here I was thinking Kaminari was the idiot. Uraka, Deku-kun, are you guys dating? Momo, blushing, hugs Izuku. I think that answers your question. Jiru, since when? Since last night. Izuku, yeah, since last. All Might, how did you know? All Might, well, last night I came to check on Midoriya, but seeing he was in good company, I decided to postpone my visit until today. Yes, and he also asked me not to scold you for what you did. Momo, Recovery Girl, sorry for not coming to get you. Recovery Girl, don't worry, I think it was best for Izuku to get some more rest. Now, kids, if you would all be so kind as to leave, I need to check on him. Everyone, okay, we'll come to visit you later, Midoriya. Recovery Girl, no need, kids, I'll discharge him in a couple of hours. So All Might will take him to his room. All Might transforms into his muscular form. You can count on me, Midoriya, young man. Coughs up blood and returns to normal. Recovery Girl hits him on the knee with her cane. I told you not to do that. Are you an idiot? Yaoyorozu-san would mind staying to help me, so she can accompany him to his room. Momo, happily, of course. All the kids left for their dorm to inform the others that Izuku had awakened and would be discharged. Of course, they also commented on other things. Luckily, Mina and Toru weren't in the room with the other kids, so their relationship was still safe, at least until those two found out and told practically the entire school. 2 hours later, in Recovery Girl's infirmary. Recovery Girl, alright, Kid, everything looks good. Just rest a couple more days to regain all your energy. Izuku, thank you, recovery girl. Recovery girl, and you, young lady, good thing that idiot listens to me. He's just as stubborn as his teacher. Momo, don't worry, recovery girl, I'll take care of everything for him. Recovery girl, by the way, congratulations on your relationship. Izuku, how did you know? All Might, I think the principal is calling me. Leaves hurriedly. Izuku, wow, he can't keep a secret. I wonder how more people don't know about the 1-4. Recovery girl, hits him on the head with her cane, you're just as foolish as him, that's why you get along so well. Now get out of here before I change my mind and leave you in bed for another week. Izuku, alright. Takes Momo's hand, let's go, Momo-chan. Izuku and Momo walked hand in hand towards their dormitories. They didn't care if others noticed their relationship. According to Momo, this way, she wouldn't have to push girls away from Izuku, as she was jealous that he spent a lot of time with Hatsune in the workshop, and she didn't know how Izuku became friends with Kendo, Ibara, and Kodai. Momo, how are you? Momo, fine, Kendo. What's up? Kendo, we went to visit Midoriya, but recovery girl told us he had been discharged, so we came to find you guys. Izuku, we?
Kendo, Kodai, Ibara, and I think Hatsune too, but I think she went back to her workshop for something.
Momo, jealous, looks like you have many female friends, Izuku. Izuku, kisses her on the cheek, but only one girlfriend, so don't get mad. Kendo, congratulations, you too. Hugs Izuku. Momo, clears throat. Kendo, sorry about that, but Izuku told me he was going to confess to you and asked us for advice. Momo, us? Who else knows about this? Izuku, Kodai and Ibara, they heard everything when I talked to Kendo, and they gave me advice too. Kendo, see, you shouldn't be jealous of us, at least not of me and Ibara. Momo, why do you say that? Kendo, well, it seems Izuku and Kodai are good friends. Momo, what does that mean, Izuku? Izuku, nervously scratching his head, well, Kodai is a childhood friend. Hugging Izuku from behind, Izuku. Izuku, Yui-chan, could you get off? My back hurts. Kodai, sorry about that. Sees he's holding hands with Momo, gets closer to Kendo and whispers in her ear. Kendo nods, see, I told you he'd say yes, but when did it happen? Momo, blushing, last night. Kodai, so you confessed to him in the infirmary, Izuku, how unromantic. Izuku, well, to be honest, I didn't confess, but everything turned out fine. Momo, embarrassed, sorry about that. Izuku, well, girls, I'm going to my room to rest for a while. Feel free to visit whenever you want. Kendo/Kodai, okay, we'll come to visit you tomorrow, if your girlfriend doesn't get mad. Momo, blushing because they called her his girlfriend, of course not, but just in case, I'll be with you. K. Odai, a jealous girlfriend, you're lucky. Izuku, take care of her. Izuku, with my life. Kisses Momo on the cheek. Kendo, well, see you tomorrow. Rest. The kids continued on their way to the dormitories, although Izuku noticed that Momo looked upset because she didn't like knowing that Izuku had more female friends. Outside Class 2A dormitories. Izuku, Momo-chan, what's wrong? Momo, I didn't know you were so popular with the girls. Izuku, are you jealous? Momo, blushing, of course not, why would I be? Izuku, in that case, I'll go to my room. Take care. Starts walking. Momo, hugs him from behind, wait, why are you leaving? Izuku, well, if you're not mad and don't want to talk. Momo, I'm upset that they hugged you. Izuku, I already told you, I only want you. Kisses her on the lips. Everyone, whistling and celebrating what they were seeing. Izuku, looks like everyone saw that. Momo, seems like you won't be able to rest. Izuku, whispers in her ear, if you stay to take care of me tonight, maybe I'll feel sick. Momo, blushing, alright, as long as you're the pillow. What they didn't know was that behind them were the top two gossipers at UA. The pillow of who, Yaoyorozu-san? The kids kept walking toward the dorms, but Izuku noticed that Momo looked upset because she didn't like knowing that Izuku had more female friends. Outside Class 2A dorms. Izuku, Momo-chan, what's wrong? Momo, I didn't know you were so popular with girls. Izuku, are you jealous? Momo, blushing, of course not, why would I be? Izuku, in that case, I'll go to my room. Take care. Starts walking. Momo, hugs him from behind. Wait, why are you leaving? Izuku, well, if you're not angry and don't want to talk. Momo, it bothered me that they hugged you. Izuku, I told you, I only want you. Gives her a kiss on the lips. Everyone, whistling and celebrating what they were seeing. Izuku, looks like everyone saw that. Momo, seems like you won't be able to rest now. Izuku, whispers in her ear, how about you stay to take care of me tonight? Maybe I might feel unwell. Momo, blushing, okay, as long as you're the pillow. What they didn't know was that behind them were UA's top 2 gossipers. Whose pillow are you, Yaoyorozu-san? Current chapter. Momo, Mina-san. Mina, hi. So, whose pillow are you? Izuku, she said I left my pillow in the infirmary. Toru, oh yeah, must be that. And why are you holding hands, guys? Momo, well, he and I. Crying, because Midoriya has a girlfriend and I don't. Tsuyu, because you're a pervert, Karo. Mina, Midoriya has a girlfriend? Looks at Uraka. Toru, whispers to Mina, I don't think it's her. Mina, whispering, right, they're not friends anymore. While Mina and Toru debated who could be Midoriya's girlfriend, and since everyone decided not to tell them anything, they'd be occupied for a while and wouldn't cause any commotion. The kids were about to enter the dorms when they heard someone calling out. The problem was how they were called out, and the black-haired girl seemed jealous to see the girl running towards her boyfriend. Izuku. Izuku, Akemi-chan, what are you doing here? Akemi, hugs Izuku and cries. Izuku, Akemi, what's wrong? Akemi, crying, my aunt told me what happened, and when I knew you woke up, I came to see you. Izuku, returns the hug and kisses her forehead, thank you so much, Akemi-chan. All this was seen by Izuku's whole class. Some were really surprised by how close that girl and Izuku were. A couple of girls were thinking she was Midoriya's girlfriend. Mineta, on the other hand, kept crying because Deku had 2 pretty girls for himself, and he only had Manuela, 7W7, and one dark-haired girl was totally furious and jealous to see another girl hugging her boyfriend. Momo, jealousy over 9000, Izuku, who is she? Izuku, Momo, she's Akemi, don't you remember? Momo, thinking, the girl who's not his cousin, of course, your cousin Akemi. Akemi, Izuku, why is Yaoyorozu-san jealous? Izuku, well, you see, she and I. Momo, Izuku and I are dating. She said and then kissed him on the lips in front of everyone. Akemi, jealous, well, I gave him his first kiss. Sticks her tongue out. Momo, angry, oh yeah? Well, I. Izuku, raising his voice, girls, enough please. Both girls blushed realizing what they had been doing or saying. Their surprise was even greater when they finally noticed that the whole class had been watching them. Spreading rumors hadn't been a problem for Mina and Toru. Usually, the problem was that Mina and Toru had been recording everything with their phones. Poor Yaoyorozu almost fainted seeing that. Before she could do anything, Mina and Toru ran into the dorms to avoid Momo or Midoriya. Meanwhile, Akemi was hiding in Izuku's chest to prevent others from seeing her flushed face. Izuku, what do you say we go inside and talk? Momo, just nodded. Akemi, is it okay if I come in? Izuku, don't worry, we can talk in my room. Momo, yes, let's go to my room and I'll prepare some tea. Akemi, okay, thank you, Yaoyorozu-san. The 3 kids headed to Yaoyorozu's room to chat. Akemi didn't let go of Izuku, and this had already annoyed Momo because all the way to her room, Akemi was holding onto Midoriya's arm, and he looked happy as he was smiling. Yaoyorozu's room. The kids entered Momo's room, and Midoriya sat on her bed because it was normal for him to be there. On the other hand, Akemi was surprised to see her room. It was a small room decorated with all possible luxuries that could fit there and a huge bed worthy of a princess. Momo, on the other hand, took advantage of Akemi's fascination with her room to sit next to Izuku and hold his arm. The boy noticed this and just gave her a slight smile after kissing her forehead and whispered in her ear. Izuku, whispering, don't be jealous of her, she's just playing with you. Akemi, your room is amazing, Yaoyorozu-san, and your bed is impressive. Momo, thank you very much, Akemi. Izuku, right, I never noticed how big your bed was, although it's very comfortable. Akemi, have you ever slept in it, Izuku? Izuku, starts blushing and mumbling, well, I. Yaoyorozu, tea is ready, do you want me to serve you? Izuku, yes, please. Akemi, yes, Thank you. The kids talked for a long time. Momo couldn't stay with doubts, so she asked Izuku and Akemi if it was true that they had their first kiss. Though the answer wasn't what she expected, both confirmed what Akemi had said. Momo felt a little upset, but that had happened a year before Izuku entered UA. Yaoyorozu's room, 8 p.m. Akemi, looking at her phone, Izuku, I think I should go, it's getting late, and you guys need to rest. Izuku, are you okay leaving at this hour? Why don't you stay? Akemi, stay, but where will I sleep? Izuku, you can stay with me in my room, it's not like it's the first time we've slept together. Momo's vein popped, and she had a slight nervous twitch in her eye upon hearing that, although she had slept with Izuku before they were dating, just sleeping, don't think otherwise. Akemi, but that was when we were 12, and I had to stay at your house because my mom was traveling. Izuku, it's the same as back then. Besides, after that, you stayed at my house every weekend, or I stayed at yours. Momo was only thinking of the different ways she would torture her boyfriend for everything she was finding out. Akemi, yes, but that was a long time ago. Izuku, the last time we slept together was the day before the UA exam. You stayed to make sure I woke up on time. Akemi, blushing, okay, I guess I'll stay. Now Yaoyorozu was about to explode. With all her willpower, she kept her composure, remembering how her mother had taught her how a lady of class should behave and how to express her anger to her partner without making a scene. Momo, Izuku, don't you think it would be a problem if Ida or someone else found out that Akemi stayed to sleep in your room? Izuku, pondering Momo, also, remember the video Mina and Toru took. Izuku felt a shiver run down his spine. While he could control Ida by explaining the situation, Mina and Hagakure were a completely different case, not to mention the video his girlfriend mentioned. Since they didn't know how much they had recorded, it was best not to get into more trouble for the moment. Izuku, I think you're right, but it's too late for Akemi to go alone. I could accompany her home, but she probably won't be able to enter the academy, and my mother won't be home for the weekend, and I don't have the apartment keys with me since I forgot them last time I visited there. After that, Izuku started mumbling. Momo gives him a kiss on the lips to snap him out of his trance. Don't worry, Izuku, she can stay and sleep with me. Besides, my bed is big enough for both of us. Akemi, are you sure, Yaoyorozu-san? I wouldn't want to be a problem for you. Momo, don't worry, it won't be a problem. Besides, since you know Izuku better than anyone else, maybe you can tell me a thing or two about him. Izuku, nothing embarrassing, Akemi, please. Akemi, okay. Momo, how about we go for dinner, and then we can watch a movie here or with the others and then sleep. Akemi, that's fine by me. Izuku, agreed, but Akemi-chan will cook, I really want to taste her food again. Momo, holding back, oh, okay. The kids went down to the kitchen, they were lucky because only the girls were there, the others had gone to play basketball against Class B. It seems Monoma challenged Bakugo, and Kendo knocked them both out before they could fight, so they decided to settle it another way. Akemi was cooking, and since the other girls were there, they decided to help so they could all have dinner together since the boys said they would go for pizza after the game. Asui and Akemi were preparing the food while Momo helped with the vegetables. Uraka went to her room because she said she didn't feel well, and Toru, well, no one saw her for a while. Mina, on the other hand, decided to bother Midoriya a bit since Akemi didn't let him help. They went to play video games in the living room, but Mina was very close to him. Izuku didn't notice as he was focused on the game, while a murderous aura emanated from the kitchen, coming from two girls. Dinner was ready, to everyone's surprise, Akemi and Asui's food was delicious. Both girls became friends in the short time they talked and started sharing their recipes. After dinner, Momo took the opportunity to take her boyfriend and keep him away from Mina, while Izuku began teaching his girlfriend how to play video games. Time skip, 12 a.m. Everyone retired to their rooms. Izuku said he would rest, so he bid farewell to his girlfriend and Akemi. Meanwhile, Momo went with Akemi to her room. Yaoyorozu's room. The girls had changed into pajamas to sleep better. Momo wore hers and created one for Akemi to rest in. The atmosphere was a bit tense. Both were lying on Momo's bed, and there was an uncomfortable silence between them. It seemed neither could talk to the other if Izuku wasn't with them. So, Akemi decided to speak first. She had to make sure Momo would be a good girlfriend to her cousin. While Akemi had feelings for Izuku, she never decided to tell him because if things didn't work out between them, she didn't want to imagine what would happen to their friendship. Akemi, Yaoyorozu-san, can we talk? Momo, Of course. What's up, Akemi? Akemi, do you really love Izuku? Momo, why do you ask? Akemi, because of what happened with the other girl, the brunette who didn't want to eat with us. Momo, Izuku has never told me everything that happened with her. I only know that he liked her, and everyone in the class thought she liked him back. At that time, Izuku and I weren't friends, we were just classmates. The few times we talked were about school topics only. Akemi, they always went to the bookstore together. I remember they were very excited about the license exam. Momo, and what happened? Akemi, Izuku told me he would ask her out if he got his license. I remember that when he got his license, he sent me a picture of it and wrote that I should wish him luck. Momo, and after that, do you know anything else? Akemi, he has never told me what happened afterward. He said everything was fine, so I thought she had said yes, but... Momo, but? Akemi, one day, I saw him at the beach training, and I wanted to go over to greet him, but he was crying. Before I could reach him, he passed out, and by the looks of it, he had been there for hours. Momo, so it wasn't just that one time. She said to herself. Akemi, that time? Momo, you see. She told her how she saw him crying at the gym, and when he woke up, did he say anything to you? Akemi, he told me the girl rejected him, but she wasn't very kind to him. He didn't say much about it, but he mentioned that she would never date someone like him. Momo, you know, if it weren't for that, we wouldn't be together. Though he doesn't want to admit it, I would have preferred that he didn't go through all that suffering. Akemi, you know, now I understand why. Momo, why what? Akemi, why he told me he had fallen in love again with a wonderful girl. Momo, blushing and covering her face with the blanket, did he really say that? Akemi, yes, and now I know he is someone who loves him, so can I ask you a favor? Momo, of course, what is it? Akemi, take good care of him for me, since I can't be at the academy. I'm glad he has someone with him. Momo, well, the truth is, he's always been the one who's taken care of me. The girls continued talking until they fell asleep. A certain girl had heard much of the conversation and was furious. She was determined to do something to win him back, no matter what it took.